We're going to go through just some general updates that have come out or are coming out this year to Operations Center and the G5 displays. Then we'll dive in real deep here to Operations Center, go through, make sure we answer all your questions today. So if you guys got questions, make sure you stop us as we go through this. At lunch then, we will go through a little what's new. So looking towards the future, what's coming with our G5 displays, what's coming with Operations Center in the next 1, 2, and 3 years. So giving you a glimpse as to where Deere's headed with this whole thing. And then probably wrap up Operations Center here after lunch, and then we'll pull up the simulator and go through the G5 Live. So again, make sure you stop, ask questions. We want to make sure you get all your questions answered today. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with just some things on Operations Center. So connection, getting data to the cloud. As most of you know, there's a lot of different methods of getting data to Operations Center. It's not a John Deere specific website. So I'm just going to kind of walk through some of these pods. Starting on the top right there, that's obviously the Deere on Deere solution, your John Deere tractor, John Deere combines, sprayers, whatever it may be, having that R-Series modem integrated from the factory, uploading that data all in real time to Operations Center. But we know that's not every farm. Obviously there's some farms out there that are mixed fleets. So looking at putting that M-Series modem in those case tractors, case combines, Claas combines, whatever that may be, but still collecting all of that data in real time, getting it all sent to the cloud. So that's the M-Series modem. We're going to talk quite a bit about those today. You'll see there's one up front here, there's one out on the table, but that's a all-in-one, no antenna needed, but a good way to collect that data and send it to the cloud. Down on the bottom, so not only connecting just our in-field ag equipment, but looking at our service trucks, our semis, putting that same M-Series modem in all your pieces of equipment so you can track it all on Operations Center. At lunch, we'll talk about some of the neat things coming with some futuristic things with the semis there. So then we got cloud-to-cloud API, so been out there for a while, but connecting any cloud-based system, whether that be the field view, the Claas, the case, connecting those field-based systems to Operations Center so that data is transferring back and forth in real time as well. The final one on the left is data stick. So this will be new coming out this summer. We've had a data stick in the past, but this is the new updated version of that. This data stick you'll be able to plug into any third-party display. So whether that be a Raven, an Ag Leader, your Precision Plant Monitor, plug that in, export that data. With our M or R series modem, it's going to wirelessly transfer that to Operations Center. So no more waiting until the end of the season using an actual USB. You can do this nightly. When you're done, export that data and it's automatically going to upload to Operations Center. So any data, any displays that are compatible with Operations Center through Data Manager are going to be compatible with the data stick as well. So again, that's coming this summer timeframe, June, July. Cloud to cloud, we'll talk about this a little bit more once we pull up Operations Center, but again, getting that data that may be going to a third-party cloud system all into Operations Center so you can get all your data collected together and start analyzing that for future. Here's just a real quick snapshot of cell connectivity across the United States. So green is good, yellow's marginal, red would be poor, and white has no connectivity or no data points for that. Zoom in here a little closer. We got Nebraska down here on the bottom. In our area, a pretty good cell connection there, but you can see there's a lot of, not only Nebraska, but the United States that's not covered with the AT&T cell connection. So you probably heard, but John Deere did partner with Starlink, being able to put that satellite modem on the John Deere equipment, being able to have that machine connected to Operations Center at all times. So the goal of all these connections is to have 100% of your equipment connected 100% of the time to Operations Center, so you're collecting 100% of that data. Every pass you make across the field, you're making across the field for a reason. So if we can start collecting all of that data and start analyzing, was that tillage pass really worth it? Was that fertilizing pass worth it? Whatever that may be, collecting all of that data, it's going to be huge going forward. So now looking at Operations Center, some of the improvements coming. This is coming later this year. First one's going to be bulk editing. So if you went out and you applied all of your acres as Roundup and it should have been Roundup Ultramax, you can now select all of those operations, change them all at once instead of going into each layer individually. So that bulk editing, and same with varieties or whatever it may be. But probably bigger than that, one we've been asking for a long time, is the ability to split and merge data. So if you go out and plant a field, come back 11 days later because of a rain event, finish planting it, you will now have 2 separate seeding events. That 10-day window's passed, so that's why we get 2 different maps. Now we'll have the ability to merge those into that one singular map. So again, not out yet, but it is coming yet this year. Anybody in here use AutoPath? A few guys, okay. So some improvements to AutoPath for this year. The first one is AutoPath is now gonna be available in land. So being able to view those AutoPath lines right there on Operations Center for you. In turn, with it being in land, it's also now gonna be in Work Planner, so you can view those AutoPath lines there as well. The other big change to AutoPath is we are now gonna be able to do AutoPath from boundaries. So if you have good, accurate boundaries on your field, you can create AutoPath lines based off of that exterior boundary, which in turn gets you that first pass through the field. So that pre-emerge spraying pass, that tillage pass, or your planting pass, you can now use that AutoPath line from boundary. So creating those guidance lines based off of your boundaries. So with AutoPath, once you go out and you plant, that is your source pass. You can use that source pass then for the next operations throughout the season, whether it be spraying, fertilizing, or harvest. Creating those guidance lines for that field based off of the number of rows in that field. So when you pull in with a 8-row corn head, it's gonna tell you this is the row you need to be on, so you don't end up with that 1 row of shame. Same with the sprayer, 120 foot, it's gonna pull in, it's gonna tell you here's your rows that best fit that field. So using AutoPath throughout the season, and then when we get to fall tillage, again, using that AutoPath line from boundary is an option. Some improvements to implement guidance. So if you're using that passive implement guidance where the tractor drives off the line to keep the planter right on the line, some good improvements have been done to this, especially on the curves and turns. So keeping that planter right on that line when you're going around those corners, good improvements there with software. Machine sync, if you guys are running machine sync, they did have an improvement come out late fall last year. Changing from the little black antenna we use to this whip style antenna. If you are using machine sync and you've had some reliability issues, talk to Dallin, make sure you get this improvement, this new kit on your tractors and combines. Auto track turn automation. So this is the automation of the turns for any tractor. Currently, it's just for tractors. They did release it for combines late fall again. We had a few demo combines running it. It works really awesome. So you can have it spiral in, spiral out, or just do every other pass just like you would for planting on the combine. So when it's done with a land of say 5 passes, it'll move over and start a new land for you. So really cool. Again, that's just turn only on combines. You still have to raise lower, control your speed with your hydro handle. You can see in the future that that update is coming. For this year, the updates to turn automation, simple setup for turn only, so making it a lot easier for guys that are just maybe doing tillage. You can have it turn, it's gonna know those dimensions already, make that real simple. Sprayers, air carts, and then the rest of the combine turn automation is coming here in the future. So just so you guys know, sprayers has been the big one a lot of guys have been asking for. It is coming. We don't have an exact time frame on it, but it's getting better over time. It is coming. So final thing we want to talk about is just our core Precision Ag package. So here's our lineup of John Deere Precision Ag components today. We got our G5 displays, Starfire receivers, the 7000 or 7500. We have our R and M series modem, all of those things in cab, in field, working together to get that data to Operations Center. So we want to make sure we point out some key differences, especially on the display side. So when we look at our G5 and our G5 Plus displays, the G5 Plus is probably going to be the most common display. That is our direct replacement for our 4640s. It's the display you see up there in front of you. Same height as a 4640, but a widescreen version. With that, you get auto track and section control in base, as well as the same features that we had with our Gen 4s. So no more subscription for just section control if that's all you're running with your G5. You have the ability to add row sense as a permanent activation on your G5 Plus as well. And then that advanced license goes on there. The G5 then is a replacement for a 4240. So it's a 10-inch screen, which is the same size as our 4640, but it's going to be a short widescreen version. So it's going to look a lot smaller. Again, you can get all this. This is what comes in base. You can still add auto track, section control, and row sense as lifetime activations on that G5. When we look at the advanced license, so on a Gen 4 4640, that was $1350 a year. They have dropped that price to $750 a year with our G5s. That gets you your implement guidance, your auto path, your in-field data sharing, machine sync, all of those key features. So that subscription did go down with the new screens. When we talk about the modems then, we have our M series and R series. R series is what we've had for years. Today we're going to talk quite a bit on the M series modem. What you see there on the left-hand side with the modem and that harness, that is what comes in the kit. So that modem will plug into power, your diagnostic port on your machine, as well as your G5 display. That modem is $500. There's a $225 discount, I believe, today on them. So for $275, you can get an M series modem to get your 30 series tractor, your semi, your service truck, whatever it may be connected to Operations Center. If you're going to run machine sync or any of those advanced features, the R series modem would still be what you need. That same discount's running $200 and some off. But with that, you do have to purchase the antenna, the power, and the Ethernet separately. So that modem's a little bit more expensive, but this M series modem works good for just getting data transferred in machine locations. So the final thing we want to talk about is there's a lot of talk out there, especially when you get on TikTok and different places, about the John Deere Essentials package. So we want to make sure everybody knows the difference between them. With the Essentials package, it's a cheap upfront hardware purchase. So when you buy the Essentials package, you get a G5 Plus, the big screen, a Starfire 7000, and an M series modem. That's $2,000 for all three of those pieces of equipment. But what you need to make that work is one of these two subscription packages. So either $2,000 a year for the auto track, section control, and row sense, or if you want to do the Essentials plus the advanced package with the SFRTK, you're looking at $42.50 a year. So for those guys that want a cheap upfront cost, maybe a fixed cost over multiple years, this Essentials package is awesome. It's going to fit quite a few guys, but if you're used to owning your equipment, you don't want that high yearly cost or that yearly subscription, maybe this isn't for you. So just know if you're buying something from another dealership and they tell you it's only going to cost a couple $1,000s up front to purchase this, you're probably going to have a pretty high subscription yearly on that. Or if you go to buy something off of, say, Big Iron, make sure what you're buying for a G5 display is not a G5 Essentials display. Because that display there, without a subscription, will do absolutely nothing. You cannot, when you power it up, there's a box over top of it that says you need to add basics to it. So you can't use it as a camera monitor, you can't use it for documentation. You truly have to have a subscription to utilize that monitor. So, good option for a lot of people, not for everybody, but we want to make sure you know the difference between them before you get stuck in a spot where your display really won't work.